I'm not that great of an artist, okay? I'm not. I'm just a hustler. And if there was a way that I could, this just sounds, it's like saying I'm so full of myself, but I do believe that as a personality and a total package, it's a lot more interesting than any of the art that I do. However, the art is the only thing that people can get. They can't buy me, and they're never, and I'm changing, and I'm gonna just get old and die, you know, and this stuff just stays, you know, like the portrait of Dorian Gray, or all these like photographs that I've done, you know, that's like a tangible little bait to get people in to go, well, who are you? And then they're like, oh my God, I just want to follow you around, or I want to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, because otherwise they wouldn't, because I'm scurrying around in my studio like a little freaking rat, or I'm up on a scaffolding painting, or I'm concentrating on something and maybe not the most approachable person that ever was.
Is this, I mean, is your art you? Is it just kind of an output of you?
Well, aspects of me, because think about it. Whereas some people, maybe you could point and go, well, they're a sculptor. And that's not any small thing to say.
Right.
But as I was talking about being a photographer, I think like a photographer. Right. Not all the time, but when I do think of it, and when I get those ideas that should be photographs, they're photographs. Now, if I have to hire a photographer to do it, I don't care. It's my idea. That's one aspect. And it's like they're often kind of jokes. They're sort of funny. They're one-liners. They're perfect for photographs. Make a bunch of them. I can give them out to my friends. There's that. Now, public art, that's me interacting with society. That's me trying to be of service with what I can do. You know, I'm pretty useless. The only thing I can do is pretty much talk and make art. Those are my two strong points, and I have a lot of energy. Otherwise than that, not much, you know, cooking, gardening, other habits, other hobbies. There aren't any. It's me having fun, going to concerts, having fun, and then making art. So considering that making art is a big deal, big part of me, there's lots of facets. So the public art, or even like when I'm painting for dollars and doing work for clients, that's communication, seeing how I can help somebody else out, how I can vibe into what they want. My paintings, that would be like poetry. That would be like MB processing, whatever the heck I'm processing, whatever I think is interesting, whatever I think is fun. No attempt to necessarily have someone understand it, make it comprehensible to people, be of service with it. That's just me going, oh, here I am by myself doing my thing.
I went to your website and I encountered the MB universe.
Yes.
What is the MB universe?
All right. Well, originally, when I was a graduate student at Humboldt State University, and I say that because the word Humboldt, right in the middle of it, is MB. Okay. And I had a shirt. It said Humboldt University, which is pretty weird. But that's what it said. Or maybe it may have said Humboldt State University. And I just took a magic marker and I scratched out all the letters except for MB Universe. Okay, so that was just like, I'm all, check it out, it says MB Universe on this shirt. So I scratched everything out and I just wore that thing till it was like gone. Then, so that's how long I've identified with MB Universe. So I just consider MB Universe me walking around, doing my thing, wherever I am is MB Universe, and then people and situations become satellites in MB Universe. Sometimes they stay in there a long time. Sometimes they lose gravity and they're gone, but I am the center of MB Universe.
It's a huge, I mean, it's a huge concept. I mean, when I heard that, I mean, MB Universe, and then all this art and different mixed medias revolving around it like little satellites.
Yes. See?
Is you pull some of your inspiration from these little satellites that bump into you, or?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean,
where does this inspiration come from? I mean, where does any of this come from? What do you see?
Well, I'm really open to the universe as much as someone could be, spending as much time by myself as is necessary to spend by myself to do work. Tortilla Flats came from me overhearing a conversation that Moses Mora was having with someone else, And he was talking about this neighborhood that was displaced when the freeway came through. And I literally heard him saying that, and I literally turned to him and said, that needs to be a mural. All right? So sometimes I would say I'm an actualizer, and if I hear a good idea, it doesn't matter really if it's my idea or it's someone else's idea, I will make it real. In 1996, I had an idea that it would be funny to create a pumpkin patch-like stage set and to carve a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern and put it on my head and pose nude in that pumpkin patch. I thought that would be very funny. So I bought the pumpkins, I carved the pumpkin, I hired a photographer that I'd never worked for before, but I'd seen his work, and paid him to shoot me. And when I saw that photograph, I just was thinking it was hilarious. Then I thought, oh, I should make a bunch of these and send them out to my friends. That's how my mind works. If I think something's really funny, I will go practically to the ends of the earth to create that. If I think something needs to be done, I will do that. More often than not, that just comes from me processing my life. Me processing my life. Like I said, like poetry, just giving three-dimensional or two-dimensional forms to what I feel. And that has got to sound like the most cliche, lame comment by an artist. But guess what? That's what artists do, okay? That's what we do, is that we use these mediums to express our thoughts and feelings. I'm not very strategic, nor am I, no, I'm just not strategic. I don't necessarily make things in series because that would be a smart thing to do, or try to get my work to all look the same or to follow one particular style. It's more like I get ideas and I will use whatever style, whatever medium, whatever means necessary to best do that idea.
What was the starting point? What was the initial inspiration? What was the initial spurt, the initial package?
When I was very, very young, I grew up around artists. My dad was an artist, writer, one of those people that you just go, ugh. He wrote for a living, wrote comedy for a living. He could practically pick up any instrument and learn how to play it by ear. He could draw really good. And he could sing, and he could, he just was like one of these, he could act. It was sick. So I grew up, and his friends were likewise quite creative. My mother's brother was an artist, another brother was an actor, my mom and her sisters were models and singers. So I would meet these artists, and he went on to write like Laugh-In and these sitcom type shows, and I was around studios. But even when I was very, very little, I just said, I'm gonna be an artist. And so my parents were like, okay, because it wasn't unknown territory in my family. So they were like, oh, you wanna be an artist? Okay, and they just started training me. Like, here's some brushes, this is what you do. There's this, oh, art class, shove, shove, child puppeteer. So it was like that. I just one of those people that just self-determined as a kid, this is what I'm gonna do, and luckily enough that parents said, okay, fine, and they just completely supported me in it.
Is that why you're perhaps not focused on a particular medium?
Could be,
seems very
could be,
diverse.
yeah, because I just felt no need to specialize. Mm-hmm.